is 601. Oh, 603. Oh my God. Too much sun. 603. Omar, may we lead by pledge of allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Rene Rodriguez.
Here.
Maria Davis.
Here.
And Alejandro Garcia.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem, we do have a quorum.
Number 4, public comment.
We have several speakers. Our first speaker is Rick Avalos. Mr. Avalos, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, and city administration. I just want to come out tonight and say a few words regarding what's happening at the Coker site right now, and then talk about the actions of some of the council members here and the city administrator. So with regards to Coker Road, I do want to say that for the first time in 15 years that neighborhood has been struggling with this catastrophic situation. The city has responded in ways that we never would have imagined, and I mean that in a positive way. The city's been out there helping us and working and doing everything possible legally within their realm to give us a hand. So typically there's negative comments at the council meetings, but I want to say some positive comments because, again, residents there, we've been waiting 15 years, and you guys have done more in this 1 week than has been done for us in that entirety and prior administrations and everything else. So I want to say thank you to the city for that, and please keep working with us. And it's far from over. There's a lot of work still needs to get done there, and we're anticipating heavy rains this week. So please keep us in mind and keep working with us. I do want to say something about some individual members, and I'll begin with the city manager. Ms. Rodarte has met with us, the members of the community out there. She's been extremely patient and helpful. So just want to let everybody here know, and I want to thank Ms. Rodarte for everything that she's done. And Ms. Villalobos, Ms. Reyes, and Ms. Avalos, Ivy Avalos, they actually were out there at midnight on Saturday and most of the afternoon on Sunday. And if you didn't hear about this, they were able to get ready-mix concrete and materials. They actually volunteered and donated a bulldozer to go out and try to help our situation out. Unfortunately, they weren't able to do much, but they were there and they spent their time. They donated that time to help us. So they brought us water, they brought us food. They actually showed up at midnight to bring us food and water after we had been shoveling all day. And that means the world, and we thank you for that. Ms. Villalobos and Ms. Reyes and Ms. Avalos, who's presently here. And then I want to say thank you to the Mayor Pro Tem as well. You've answered my calls, you've been out there, you've been working with me as well. So just want to say thank you in general to everything. You guys have helped us quite a bit. Please keep us in mind. It's far from over, but as of right now, the way you've handled the situation, just thank you. I just can't say that over and over again. And just one more thing, Josh Carter's here from Mary Gonzalez's office. He was there the entire day, Saturday and Sunday, shoveling with us and walking around with us. And he got dirty and got right in there with us. And he did that on his own. He volunteered his time both days. And again, just it's amazing the outpouring, the people who are there to support us and just keep us in mind as we go on and we continue to struggle with the rain and everything else. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Lorenza Fraire. Ms. Fraire, you have 3 minutes.
This evening, I am here this evening because as a Charter Commission member elected in 1994, along with Mr. Victor Perez, we worked diligently in getting a charter prepared. We had a charter attorney by the name of Greg Hudson. Greg Hudson was our legal advisor from Houston, advising us how to create a city charter. I want you all to understand that the city of Socorro was a special municipality based on the fact the way we became a city. Keep in mind that we became a city to reincorporate it, but we created a charter commission to prepare a charter for us to give us the authority to how we were going to be governed. A home rule municipality charter implements the constitutional authorization is something that we did when we put together the city charter. The power of the city, empowered to adopt and amend its charter. Based on that, I want you to keep in mind that based on these facts, we were in looking in the future how we were going to grow. We knew we wanted to have our members to more than 2-year terms. In that charter, we put in a clause, which was a plurality clause. I noticed that the city attorney has said the city may help avoid future confusions by amending the election of plurality section of the charter to make clear that it is required. According to what we adopted on November 6, 2001, it says, at any regular and special election for the city council, including the office of mayor, the candidate for each position or place who shall receive the greatest number of votes shall be declared elected. I believe that the attorney Hudson explained to me that any verbiage that we use, may or shall, hold the power. May means you can do or not do. Shall means you have to. This evening, I'm asking and demanding from the city council to honor what we, the citizens of Socorro, approved back in 2001 when we decided to become a home rule municipality. Please honor what all the people voted back in 2001. Then, in 2008, there was an amendment to the charter. In that charter, they amended it to include the 3-year terms. Based on the fact, and again, I participated in that, based on the fact that we already had this clause in there, they didn't change it, they didn't touch it because we had it in there for the 3-year terms. This evening, I'm going to tell you, you are going to be liable for lawsuits based on the facts that we have
Mrs. Friday, your time is up.
telling us what we needed to do on the charter. Can I
Thank
have a
you,
little bit
Mrs.
more
Friday.
time? Can I be granted a little bit more time?
Continue so she can continue with the charter information.
That's all up to you, if you guys want to do that. I've already said it before.
This is
I
very
believe it's,
important.
I'm sorry, I believe it's important, and we should allow her to continue to speak.
You want to waive?
It's public comment.
What's wrong with that? No?
I want to
Mr.
show you the
Martinez.
laws that were given to us, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Martinez.
No time.
Can we
Suspend the rules
suspend the rules?
in public comment.
No, you suspend the rules during a regular matter because that's Robert's rules right now until what?
Thank you.
You've done it in the past, why can't you do it
Margarita
today?
Thank
Jaime.
you. Next.
Margarita Jaime. Señora Jaime, tiene 3 minutos.
Buenas tardes. Yo solo quiero que por favor declaren al ganador de las votaciones, el que sacó el número mayor de votos, y es lo que se aprobó en 2001. Nosotros votamos. Gracias.
Gracias.
Sergio Jaime. Señor Jaime, tiene 3 minutos.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Yo también quiero decirles que en la sección número 605, elecciones por mayor, cualquier elección regular o especial para el Consejo Municipal, incluyendo puestos del presidente municipal, candidatos para cada una de las posiciones y lugares que reciban la mayor número de votos, será declarado electo. Si es que no andemos con rodeos ni querer violar la el charet. Y estas personas que queremos que por favor, señores regidores, tenemos 30 años con la misma corrupción, queriendo estar en el poder todo el tiempo. Ya basta, ya eliminemos esas cosas, señores. Pónganse las pilas para de veras tener una democracia que le sirva a la ciudadanía de socorro. No más para servirse ustedes por los intereses personales que hay en algunos, no en todos. Así es que prefiero yo que cada uno de ustedes hagan lo correcto para estas dominaciones que hay y no anden poniendo al abogado. ¿Quién lo autorizó el abogado? ¿Quién lo va a pagar? Que la persona que lo autorizó, que la pague él, no nosotros los ciudadanos, señores. Así es que pónganse de acuerdo y hagan las cosas como debe de ser, porque el señor Nash lo único que está haciendo es corromper a las demás, y eso no está permitido. Usted estuvo, le dimos la mano para que estuviera allí y está haciendo todo lo que hacía Jesse Gándara, señor. Así es que más vale que por favor se fije en lo que está haciendo, porque todo lo que pasa es para intereses personales y nosotros aquí ya no queremos dictadores. ¿Qué es lo que está haciendo usted? Haciéndole de dictador. Aquí no estamos en Venezuela, estamos en Estados Unidos y el derecho a la libertad de expresión es de nosotros. Y tampoco que en vez de 3 minutos queremos 5 minutos, porque con 3 minutos no tenemos para nada, señor. Eso le pido a los regidores que pongan, por favor, y también que si de veras quiere hacer algo por socorro, de los 3,500 firmas, póngala atrás como venían las 600, porque usted mismo me dijo a mí que
Señor Jaime, se le terminó su tiempo.
Puso 3,500, pues ahora quítelas, por favor.
Muchas gracias.
Roberto Ábalos. Señor Ábalos, tiene 3 minutos.
Buenas tardes. Nomás quisiera hablar por parte de mi hija que está corriendo por mayor. Creo yo que se está viendo una injusticia porque hicimos mucho trabajo. Nosotros hicimos mucho trabajo para estar en el lugar de los votos que agarramos. No es justo que nos quiten del lugar ese que agarramos, que hicimos mucho trabajo, porque quieran anular esos votos. No es justo. Creo yo que esperamos que seamos respetados por los votos que hicimos y que respeten el charter ese de lo que habla. Yo no entiendo tantas de esas cosas porque yo no soy político, pero quisiera que de perdida pusieran un poquito más atención y nos dieran ese privilegio como ciudadanos aquí en Estados Unidos. Nosotros no somos unos burros, pero no votamos porque se nos hacen a un lado. Eso es lo que pasa. Por eso la mayoría de gente no vota. Los consideran burros, no son burros. Lo que pasa con las leyes es que la ley agarra la ley por las gentes que lo manejan. No queremos eso, queremos valernos por nosotros mismos. Es todo. Gracias.
Jesse Montelongo. Mr. Montelongo, you have 3 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak. Mayor, City Council, Administration, people, police. The only reason I wanted to say something was that I don't understand. I thought we were done with the elections, but, you know, I'm learning, and I wanted to come and learn about law. I know that you guys are tired of corruption, and I've heard this over and over since I've been coming to your meetings, but that's why the pictures are off the wall. We're tired of corruption. We want to do the right thing. And whether we agree with it or not, you know, we have to be resilient, and we have to move forward. We can't be moving backward anymore. You know, we have to work together. And all I'm asking for you guys, whether, you know, I like everybody here. I got no preferences, but what I'm saying is, we need to work together and move forward, because the city hasn't moved forward in a long time. You're doing a good job. I want to give you kudos, Mayor at large, okay, for hanging in there and running the city, because you've been doing a good job, especially with everything going on. But y'all need to work together. Please come together. Let's move forward. And whether, I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this meeting, but whatever does happen, we still need to be united, and we need one team, one fight. We still need to work together, guys, okay? Because we depend on you all. I depend on you all, and I need you all's help. I can't do it by myself, and you all can't do it by yourself either, because you need the votes. And the reason we had such low votes is because we're tired of corruption. We're tired of corruption. It's been happening since, we've been having lots of corruption, and we're tired of it. I'm tired of it, and I'm a soldier. I like to do things with honesty, integrity, and respect. And I haven't seen those three items since I've been coming to the meetings, and we need to work together. You guys got talent, all of you. Let's work together. That's all I gotta say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ralph Duran. Mr. Duran, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. In the old days, soldiers would go into battle, and a lot of them would shave their heads so that they wouldn't be scalped. I think our attorney is prepared for tonight. All kidding aside.
I'm feeling lucky.
This election will happen because it's state law. I mean, there's no getting around it. But what I'd like to address is the way people have acted during the election. We have letters, I have 2 letters from campaign workers where they're complaining about 3 people who don't pay attention and follow the law. We need to stop that. Election is for electing the best person. The best person is not the loudest person. The best person is the one who can fulfill the job. And then there's also these hate bulletins that have been passed out. That has to stop too. I mean, the people out here, you know who's passing them out. That needs to stop. We need to have a clean election, no bad-mouthing each other, no having election workers file complaints. 5 of them did. Now, it's not citizens. These are people that we hired to conduct our elections, complained to our city. And I have copies of those letters. I have copies of the hate pamphlets that have been passed out. I just ask that in the runoff election, please obey the law. Obey the law, and let's go ahead and have a clean election, and whoever gets the most votes wins. End of story. Thank you.
Ruben Pando. Mr. Pando, you have 3 minutes.
All right, thank you for letting me speak. Well, I'm currently attending school. I work. I am a responsible young man. I like to believe so. And I'm speaking in part of my family member, Miss Ivy Avalos, and I believe she won fairly and correctly. I believe, I know my family. I know we are a respectable family, and I really believe that we really did win, fairly and with justice. So just today, I really just want justice for us, and I just wanted to come out here and say that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem, those were all our speakers.
Consent agenda, there's nothing there, right? Number 6, discussion and action to approve a resolution canvassing the returns of a special election held on July 15, 2000. Oh, okay, there was nothing there. Okay. Consent agenda?
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Second.
Victor Pérez,
Aye.
Iván Colom Villalobos,
Yes.
María Reyes, and Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Okay, number 6, discussion and action to approve the resolution canvassing the return of the special election held on July 15, 2017. Could I have a motion?
Motion to approve Resolution 518.
Second.
Any speakers?
Should we read all this? You want to read them? Okay. Mayor, this is account for the election for the July 15th. Elia Garcia obtained 200 votes, Joe L. Ramirez, 183, Alejandro Garcia, 65, Ivy Avalos, 213. For District 2 Representative, Ralph Duran, 42, Manuel Portillo, 36, and Jesus Ruiz, 51. And we have some speakers. Lorenza Freire.
At this time, I ask Alderman from District 3, as a representative for the citizens of Socorro, I'm asking you to honor what Mr. Hudson had told us in the Charter Commission, that we needed to put this in plural so that we wouldn't have runoff elections. If you recall, we said we didn't have enough money to pay for runoff elections. This was the reason we put it in the charter, based on the fact that we were going to be a home rule municipality. At this time, Mr. Perez, I'm asking you to honor what the people voted in 2001. They wanted this charter. They approved this charter. Please honor them. This evening, you had several people coming to you and asking you, and I ask you, Mr. Perez, based on the fact that you know that Mr. Hudson did talk to us, you know that we had legal advice in preparing the charter. There's no reason why we shouldn't have. And as a matter of fact, Mr. Hudson was the one that emphasized that we had to use the word shall in order to have it through, because of the word shall is what we needed to do it. According to what your attorney's telling you, he's telling you that you need to have the required, something that says required. Mr. Hudson emphasized that the words may and shall were very powerful for us, and we had to include these in this charter. Please, this evening, I'm asking the rest of you to help us declare this a winning by the greatest
Friday,
number
your
as
time
we
is
as a
up.
people
Thank
had
you.
decided to. Thank you very much.
Margarita Jaime. Sergio Jaime. Roberto Ábalos. Ralph Duran. Ruben Pando. Victor Pérez.
Wait, before you say anything, this is just for canvassing, okay? So then you know, we're just gonna say, hey, these are the results, and that's what it is. But before we take a vote, I will say this. It's funny how we pick and choose what we wanna read. You know, everybody, no, you can stay. Oh, thank you. No, it's okay. But it's funny how we can pick and choose the law. We can take out 3 sentences out of a whole page. We can take out 1 sentence out of a whole paragraph, but yet it's more convenient to what we want. People need to understand that when this was done, Mr. Perez, you were called and you were put in front of everybody for this. When you did the charter, it was years ago.
It was
And on
looked at-
top of that, I'm not done, sir. But on top of that, it was only 2-year terms. Therefore, the state constitution does not apply. Okay? People need to understand that there's levels of government. We, local, is here in the bottom. Then we're trumped by state, which is the Texas Constitution. Furthermore, we're trumped and have to abide by federal rules and regulations and law. So if you can tell, we're at the bottom, and we have different governments that we have to abide by. I'm not saying that, and like this gentleman in the back, I understand completely. It's not, we don't think that people are dumb here in Socorro or they're ignorant. We're not saying that. What we're saying is local, state, and federal. We cannot pick and choose what we want to do. We have to obey the law. So with that, we can go in.
Mr. Perez, were you gonna say something?
No, that's fine.
Okay, I'd like to say something. if I
Ms.
may.
Villalobos?
He is right at where, at one point, we were a 2-year term. That did change, and when it changed, the wording changed. And that changed for 6.05, which is what we're here for today. 6.05 of page 27 of the city charter, apparently, it's not worded correctly. And because it's not worded correctly, apparently, we have to have a runoff. Yet, till right now, I have not heard what the correct wording is. And I think we all deserve to know what the correct wording is before we go into voting. If we don't have to vote today, I think we should wait until we know what the proper wording is. Because if I'm understanding, we have 2 words in there that are very specific. Greatest and shall. It can't be more clearer than that. The greatest number of votes are elected, greatest, and it shall be elected. Twice it says shall. So we need to know what the wording is before we can move on to any decision of a runoff. It's only fair to tell us this is incorrect and this is the correct way. It's only fair. Thank you.
Oh, Ms. Reyes.
Okay. I just have a few things to say also, because I've been looking everywhere, even under a rock, to see what we could find in regards to it. And we will abide by the law, but my questioning would be, is that on the, this is to the attorney, under the Texas Constitution, Article 11, the Section 11, and like you said, it's a powerful word. One word could mean a lot, and it says a home rule city may provide. It didn't say shall and must or will, by charter or charter amendment, and a city, town, village operating under the general law. Would that help this process now, or is it because, I pulled that off from my original charter, and the plurality is still in there, so it was already addressed originally on the charter. And that's from 2001.
Two things. One, I think you're talking about the runoff issue, which we're not supposed to discuss in item 6, or item 7.
Well, I figured because we're gonna hand this.
No.
The next one after,
Just canvass.
yes.
And then just
Then
ask
I'll
that
repeat my
question
to you later.
on 7.
Okay.
No problem.
Ask on 7. Okay, so,
Anybody?
Victor Pérez,
Aye.
Iván Colón Villalobos,
Yes.
María Reyes,
Yes.
and Alejandro García.
aye. Number 7, discussion and action to approve an order calling for a runoff election to be held on August 26, 2017 for a special election to fill the vacancies of the office of mayor and representative for District 2. Can I have a,
I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve an order calling for the runoff election to be held on August 26th, 2017 for the special election to fill vacancies in the office of mayor and representative for District 2.
could I,
We're not gonna,
second? Yes, it's for discussion. So, any,
Yes, we have several speakers.
okay?
Lorenza Freire,
I gotta hand it to all of you. You all have been granted a power that we have given you, and you have done as you wish. I know that when I get up here and speak, you all do whatever you want to. And I know that when I leave, you all speak, and you have more time to speak than I do, but I guarantee you this. You saw what happened to Jesse Gandara. You saw what happened to Willie Gandara. Be prepared, because we are going to take legal ramifications on this. And this attorney, I know that there are minutes from the commission, the charter commissions, because they're legal documents. I hope that your word as a legal official and authority will be held in court. Thank you.
Margarita Jaime. Sergio Jaime. Roberto Ábalos. Jesse Montelongo. Ralph Duran.
I have 3 minutes? Yes. We've been hearing a lot about our city charter. Like Mayor at Large has said, we no longer fall under that. We fall under state law. The state law is right here. It says we have to have a runoff. You can sit there and vote against it, but it will happen, because if we do not have it under a certain amount of days, then the city will be in violation of the law. So we can sit here and discuss about our city charter as much as we want, but now we fall under state law. And state law says we have to have this runoff. Thank you.
Ruben
No.
Pando.
Speakers.
Those were all our speakers.
Those are all speakers. Any comment?
May I ask Mr. Duran to come up here and read what the state law actually says, sir?
You don't have to.
Okay, thank you.
No. Anybody else, guys?
Well, I did call Donna. One of the things that we were told is that because of this one law
Who was that?
I'm sorry?
You said I called who?
Like, Donna, Texas.
Donna, Texas.
Donna, Texas.
From?
No, Donna is the name of the city
The
in
city.
Texas.
It was part of what we were given, and because of this case that happened with this city, we are now having to, I guess, restructure our section 6.05 of the charter. And we did call them. They did give us their old charter and what it says about voting and plurality. At that point, their old charter was in violation, and this is why they had to change it. This is why they fell into a lawsuit. That charter did not say the proper wording. I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me. I thought I had brought it with me. And they promised to send the other one. They couldn't do it today because their city manager was on vacation. But I'm still waiting for that to come back and see what their charter actually says. Because the reason we're bringing this item, or why I'm bringing this city, is because based on what happened there, it changed the state law, correct, Mr. Martinez? No? Okay. It didn't change the law, but why was Donna, Texas referenced?
Yeah, it didn't change state law.
Okay.
What happened is you saw a court of appeals in Texas apply state law
Okay.
to a municipal charter.
All right.
That charter provided, very similar to ours, provided for election by plurality, and the court of appeals recognized the effect of Article 11, Section 11 of the Constitution, and said, it doesn't matter what your charter says, you must have a runoff because the majority is required by the Constitution.
Can you repeat that again, please? Killing me. What did the court say?
The Donna City Charters, Donna's a little town, and it's a little border town in the valley, between Westlaco and somewhere in there. The city charter provided, the way ours did, for election by plurality. And they had a vote. Somebody got less than 50% of the vote, but still the most of all the candidates, and was sworn into office. And there was a lawsuit filed. The Court of Appeals, the short version is say, you can't do that. So the Texas Constitution applies because your terms exceed 2 years. Therefore, what your charter says is overruled by the Texas Constitution. You need a runoff.
So
I did read I read their charter. At the time when the lawsuit was filed, their charter said they only had a 2-year term. This is why they filed that, and that's what makes a huge difference. It was a 2-year. It wasn't more than 2 years. And that's what makes the difference today. This is what we're trying to say. Their lawsuit was because it was only 2 years.
That's not what the Court of Appeals said.
Okay, we have their charter. We have a copy of it, and I can forward it to you.
The Texas Court of Appeals for Corpus Christi
Mhm.
said, by way of background, we note that members of the Donna City Council are elected to 3-year terms.
That was changed after the lawsuit.
Oh, it may well have been.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And that's why
that
they
may
got the
have been
lawsuit.
state of the law.
This is what I'm saying. This is what makes the difference here. This is what makes the difference. And we're not reading just little, we've spent 40, 50 hours looking at this, calling everybody, calling Mr. Hudson. I'm waiting for a phone call from Mr. Hudson. We don't have all the information today to make an informed decision. We just don't.
You know, anybody else?
You go and I'll go after you.
Who?
Me.
Mr. Perez, you don't have anything to say?
I just thank you for the recognition. Believe me, I understand the whole situation about runoffs and plurality versus majority. And I mean, my election is up next, so I would love for it to be a plurality. I mean, but that's not the case. So I think that, so now if there is case law, established case law, then I would rather err. If this is an error, I'd rather err on the side of abiding by the Texas Constitution than by not abiding by it and then having the ramifications later on. Because now we know. One thing is to be not aware of what's going on, not aware of what the law says, but now we know. And so if that's the case and there's case law established, then again, I'd rather err on the side of the state constitution.
Mr. Perez, but ignorance, it's not an excuse,
I agree.
okay? Once again, a judge handed down a ruling because the charter said one thing, but they did another. It's the same case here. The rules apply. Whether you want to sugarcoat it or not, it doesn't matter. The state constitution trumps city charter. Okay? That's what it is. You know, unfortunately, you know, we can pick and choose because we're embedded or we help somebody, you know, 'cause some members of council, you know, are backing up an opponent or what. It doesn't matter. What matters is the law is the law. And I need people here in council to understand. There's already been a case. They ruled on it. State trumps. The charter where you were put on display, Mr. Perez, was a 2-year charter, a 2-year term, not 4. So therefore, it's basically the same case at a different city in the state of Texas, and a ruling came down and said, look, the judge said, who cares about your charter? State trumps your charter. End of story. There's already a ruling. Go check it out.
Okay.
Ms. Reyes?
You can answer my question now, Mr. Martinez.
Yes, ma'am, I'm not sure I understood.
No, where it's stipulated on the terms of office for the extending, and the word said may, but not shall or will.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, you're reading from section 11A.
That is correct.
Section 11A says you can extend the terms of office. Section 11A doesn't say whether a majority vote will be required to win the office. So 11A addresses the ability to extend the term of office. 11B controls whether or not you need a majority to win that office. For instance, say for example, say it was never extended. Say it was 3 years from the get-go. It had always been 3 years. Well, then 11A wouldn't have any application. There'd be no need to extend it. It was just had always been 3 years. But 11B would still apply to say, okay, it's more than 2 years. You still need a majority.
So it's wise to read the whole paragraph.
I did read the whole paragraph, and I have the right to ask all the questions I want,
No.
and that's why I have
that's
legal
fine.
here for me, okay?
And that's fine.
You're entitled to your opinion also. I want to know
And
where
that's
we
fine.
stand on this, okay? On this other one, sir, if you, who made that decision, who to have and runoff after all these years? Who's the one that required it, requested it, that we have a runoff? Because this has been going on since 2013, when the terms were extended.
And nobody has decided to have a runoff. That's the city council that's going to decide today. Only city council can call a runoff.
Why was it brought forth by Lisa Weiss?
I don't think, no, Lisa can bring it forth. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think Lisa was the one who initially asked. Lee, do you know Lisa? She's very, I think she's pretty good at what she does. Lisa, she initially asked, somebody communicated to her, look, we don't have runoffs in Socorro. And she, in her very diplomatic but direct way, said, you sure? You guys really want to not have a runoff? And up until then, I don't think anybody had ever looked twice at it. But the way she asked the question, she wasn't being rude, but the way she asked the question, I interpreted as, why don't you go take another look? And so up until then, I'd never considered researching that issue. I just assumed that what happened for the last 27 years was going to continue. And when she asked that, I actually went and did the research and found Article 11, Section 8.
Okay, well, I did my research also.
So
That's
Lisa
why I
Wife
had the
came and
right
said,
to-
why aren't we having an election?
Sir,
No, sorry.
That's why I'm asking, because I want clarity. I'm not an attorney, I never pretend to be one, I don't know the law, but I have the right to ask you questions in order to make sure that I know layman people will understand the same, that opinion that you're giving me. They know why you're doing what you're doing. Even though, yes, there was a case, and it was also by the Court of Appeals, did it go back to when they were, the actual case was when they were only 2 years? This is after the fact. Would that have anything to do with it?
I'm not sure I
Yeah, when they moved it to 3 years or more. But when they contested this, it was only 2 years.
No, when they contested it, it was 3 years. Those are the facts of the case that the court was addressing. The court was addressing a charter that provided for 3-year terms, the same way ours does. And the court applied the Texas Constitution to say you can't have a plurality. You can't be bound with a plurality. You have to have a majority.
Okay, now you're saying that the only way that we can fix this is by changing the language in 6.05?
No, you probably have some options for how to fix it. There's probably multiple options. You could, for instance, you could change the language of 605. You could leave 605 as is and go back to 2-year terms. And there are, I wouldn't foreclose other options. I mean, it's a long document, and how do I say this politely? Our city charter is not a model of clarity, and it's not an exercise in elegant prose. There's literally typos in it. So you could probably do a number of things to try to fix it, and we're working on that. I mean, there is a city charter. I think the council's already instructed us to prepare a number of proposed charter amendments for a contemplated election in November.
Okay, your recommendation, okay, the city may help avoid future confusion by amending the election of plurality section of the charter. And so do you have a list of all these options that we can buy?
No, that's more of all the options. I mean, that's something I'd want to think long and hard about in terms of all of your options for how to amend the charter. Maybe more importantly, you're probably not post it today to talk about all the options for how to amend the charter.
Well, no, I don't want you to post them, I said, but do we have more than 2, 3 options?
Probably, and even if it's come down to, even if it's only those two charter items that we're talking about, in terms of text and draftsmanship, yeah, you could probably come up with. I think I'm on my 9th or 10th draft of one of these things for the proposed charter election in November, which again is not before you today, but I've been working on it because you already told us to draft it, and I'm doing it.
So if we were to do an amendment to the section 6.05 on there, it would be for a charter change in November.
If
Well, we have to change the charter in order to change the 6.05 of the charter.
You probably don't have to change the charter. You could simply leave it as is. It's not helpful because it conflicts with state law. But I don't think you're under a requirement to change the charter. More importantly, think about it this way. A charter requires an election.
Yes, it does. We're having one in November anyway.
Right, but my point is, what if it fails? Well, it doesn't matter. The state law, the state constitution
Okay.
still controls over the
Okay,
charter.
but my question is to you, is to avoid future confusion, is by amending it. You're recommending that we amend it, then yet you don't want us to go and do this, or just leave it alone, or what?
No, I would say, what I said in the memo was, council may want to do that, and it might. It would certainly be helpful so that it doesn't overtly conflict with state law. But again, in terms of deciding that, you're not supposed to do that today, that's
Yeah.
not supposed to propose charter.
We could just bring it for the next council. We could just bring it for the next council meeting.
Well-
Go ahead.
Ms. Villalobos.
Mr. Martinez, this is gonna cost a lot of money. A lot of money. You're saying if we don't change it, we have to change our terms to 2 years. Is it for everybody?
No, I would say, whether or not you change it, and you could decide to change it tomorrow, you could decide not to change it, you could decide to change it next year. You can decide to wait 5 years. Set aside the issue of changing the charter. The issue today is you have the whole Colorado, and the state constitution says you do.
Where does it say that?
That's Article 11, Section 11B of the Texas Constitution.
But because there's Article number 3, did you read Article number 3? It allows us to have 11B, 11A, and 11B, which Section 6.05 can exist as is.
Yeah, I think that's just incorrect.
Do you know what Section 3 is?
Section 3 or Article?
Article 3, I'm sorry.
Article? Section 3 of Article 3?
No, Article 3.
Not off the top of my head of the state constitution?
Where did you
Sure, it's
getting it
Article
from?
3 or Article 11, Section 3.
I'm sorry, of the charter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have Article 3. You're talking about Section 3 of the charter.
Yes. Article 3, Section 3, if I remember, yes.
No, there's sections in the charter. Yeah, I know what the charter says in Section 3, and I read it. That doesn't help you. I mean, this way, there's no question, but that the charter says, if we read the charter in a vacuum, you don't have runoff. Plurality, most votes wins. Plurality is sufficient.
Texas.
The problem is that there's this overriding Texas Constitution, which I will tell you is, the truth is, it's stupid long. I mean, our U.S. Constitution is about 4,500 words. It has 27 amendments, right? And that's a long document. Who's read the entire thing?
No.
I can't tell you that I've done it outside of law school. The Texas Constitution is 87,000 words. It has almost 500 amendments. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's busy, but, and we talked this weekend, it's almost like if you sat down to make this as complicated as you possibly could, it wouldn't be this complicated. You couldn't make it this bad. But the legislature and the voters of Texas have done it over the years. When you peel back all the layers and examine all the parts, the charter says we don't need a majority. The state constitution says you do.
However, I read where it says it allows you to adopt this or adopt this.
Yeah.
And we adopted this, and the charter passed, and it was approved, and et cetera, et cetera.
You adopted an extension, and again, that's 11A. The extension is controlled by 11A, which is permissible. But it doesn't affect, and it doesn't change 11B of Article 11 of the Constitution, which says once you go beyond 2 years, then you have to have a majority requirement. Think about two things. I don't know if you've ever, do online at night if you're a nerdy boy, if you look at other city charters. And Horizon City has a city charter that in many respects, I mean, it's word for word what ours is. Some of the sections, they're literally, you can cut and paste, there's no change. Section 6.05, the same section of the Horizon City Charter, has the same language. Election by plurality. Horizon is going to call a charter election in November. I think they're already done. And they're scheduled to do it this month.
They are.
To amend it, And it's because I talked to their lawyers. Their lawyers recognize, that part of our charter doesn't comply with the state constitution. We have to fix that.
And it has the same words that we do? It's the same charter?
Not the entire charter. There are provisions that are identical. You can read sentences in their charter and sentences in our charter, and it's literally the same words on paper. But my point is 605 in theirs, I haven't compared every word. They look very similar. My point is 605 in the Horizon City Charter permits election by plurality. You don't need a runoff. And they're going to put that to a charter election because the lawyers are smart enough to recognize everything. That isn't the
And just so you know, we called the state, we called TML, and they're on they said, there's nothing you need to do.
I talked to a TML lawyer today. Her name is Heather Lockhart.
Yes.
She talked with one of the other lawyers who works with us on Friday at some length. I talked to her today myself. She and I are on the same page. She said, yeah, I know it's Article 11, Section 11, go beyond 2 years. It's just required. You just have to have a majority.
And I also talked to Heather, told me the same thing. So,
Yeah, I will say, Heather did say she had talked, she didn't remember all the names. They get questions, don't be hard on TML people. They get questions from all over the state. There's hundreds of municipalities. She remembered she talked to more than one elected official from the city of Socorro. And she couldn't recall the names or anything, but she knew she had spoken to you. And she and I were on the same page. She said it was clear that the Constitution requires a vote.
Well, just for everybody to know, I did everything I could possibly human do to understand what's going on here. It's not because I helped Ivy Avalos run. It has nothing to do with that. I'm up here and I'm elected to do the right thing. And that is the only reason I'm doing this. This is the only reason I put in all this time, because this is very important. It's very important. I have calls. I have people calling me, what is going on? How much is this going to cost? If you guys didn't know, it's going to be an additional $25,000. In November, we're going to have another one. It's an additional $25,000.
Ms. Reyes?
Mr. Martinez, being that this was imposed by a visiting state judge on the extension of terms,
No, it wasn't imposed on the extension of terms. It was imposed on 3-year terms. I don't know whether before that they had 2-year terms or 4-year terms or 1-year terms.
if you look at the charter, the 2011 charter, it stipulates what the terms were. But because they exceeded their terms
I'm sorry,
unlawfully.
I thought you were talking about the city of Don. No?
No. Here.
Never mind. Let's try.
Okay, let's start over.
Yeah, she had no idea.
My question is that because it was imposed by a visiting state judge where they had extended their terms unlawfully, that's why they exceeded the terms, not because the city wanted to, but in order to be in compliance with what was going on. I don't know if this is the right question or not to ask now, but can the judge come back and amend a final judgment?
No, the answer to that question is no. The court has lost jurisdiction. The court always has continuing jurisdiction to enforce its judgment, but you can't go back and amend it.
So because he did the right thing by extending it, and we had 2 elections in order to make sure that the second election was for the 1, 2, and 3 in order to have officials in this capacity. So if we were, let's say, if he hadn't done it, then nobody would have been in office. So, yeah, because 2 were expelled, 2 were kicked out, okay? And then 1, 2, and 3 were due the next month. But they were not illegal at the time he imposed the extension of term.
2 things. I'm not sure I understand the question, but more importantly, I don't think it raises the runoff. I think that's the full warrant issue, which is.
Well, the terms is what's making us have this runoff, and that is when they extended it.
Right, but the point is that the terms in the charter as adopted were 3 years, and the terms that were in dispute were the extension to 4 years. So whether it's 3 or 4, they're both beyond 2. They're both more than 2 years, and the Constitution says once you go a day beyond 2 years, then you need a majority runoff. A majority is what they call it.
They went to 2 years, and then we had 3 years. Is that not correct? So there was already 3 years.
That's what we're saying.
On
There's
some
already
office,
3
on
years.
some of the officers already.
And again, the extension is.
No, it was already, the staggered terms were developed back in 2008 or 2010 for the staggered terms so that everybody would not come up for election at the same time. So that was already done with the approval, and there's 3 years. Okay.
No, you're right, it's not 3 to 4, it's 2 to 3. The point is, the way it sits now, you're beyond 2 years. I mean, as long as it's 1 day beyond 2 years, then you run into a separate requirement, which is a majority of the office. So whether it's 2, 2.5, 3, 4, or 5, you've got to have a majority to take office once you go beyond 2 years.
Okay.
Let me just finish this. I just think this is an injustice because it's never been brought up before. A lot of people, and yes, I helped somebody, and that's my right. And the fact is that now it's going to cost additional money. And all those things about also the comment that was made, maybe he needs to find out all this information first before he starts showing letters. And we're just trying to get to the end of this. We need to do the right thing. And if the state and federal Trump, you know, we have tried, but it's very how convenient that it's never been challenged up to today.
So what happens to our terms for those of us that did not get the 50+1?
You don't go back.
You're certainly not supposed to discuss that today.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well,
Oh,
we
well,
had enough discussion.
I'd like to
Okay.
ask,
Hold on, I was talking. I think we had enough discussion. I think that we have to, you know, just move forward and take the vote. On top of that, you know, we discuss about, oh, it's gonna take money, you know, but, you know, another $25,000. Yeah, I get it. I mean, why are we crying now about $25,000 when we ousted our mayor? Because we ousted our mayor. That's why we're here. And now we didn't know that we had to do a runoff. Now we're gonna do it. Why didn't we think of that before? You know, that's one thing to say. So can you take the vote, please?
that's
No,
because
I am
it's
not
called-
recalling you. I
I'm
am
sorry?
not.
I'm not done. I have another
You know
question
what?
for him.
No, because you already did your two. And
You
I
want-
let it
can
go
we
and I
have
let it
two?
go.
Excuse
Yes.
me, Mr. Martinez, can we only have
Robert's Rules of
two?
Order.
Only
Robert's
two
Rules
questions?
of Order says,
To
Jim,
Mr. Mar-
Robert's Rules of Order states that you can only talk twice. If I allow it, then it can continue on.
So he has more power?
It's not power, it's the authority invested in.
So the problem is it's the chair of the meeting, the chair.
That's right. So I'm not, yes. So, can we do the,
Victor
vote,
Pérez,
I don't like it, but aye.
Iván Colom Villalobos,
No.
María Reyes,
We want to do what is right, even though,
We don't have the right information.
well,
We need the right information first.
no.
Alejandro García,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem,
like I've always said, local is down here, state is up here, and federal is here. Aye.
You can say it all you want, but we're still entitled to our opinions.
That's right.
do we have a motion for items 8 through 10?
Can I have a motion?
Motion to delete?
Motion to delete items 8 through 10.
Second.
I make it.
Victor Pérez,
Aye.
Iván Colom Villalobos,
I'm sorry, I wasn't reading. My glasses on. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
María Reyes,
Yes.
Alejandro García.
Aye.
Adjourn.
Adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Victor Pérez,
Aye.
Iván Colom Villalobos,
Yes.
María Reyes,
Yes.
and Alejandro García.
Aye.